Good evening. I'm Ronald Reagan, speaking for General Electric. Tonight, Jack Benny stars on the General Electric Theater.
In research, in engineering, in manufacturing skills, at General Electric, progress is our most important product.
You've just seen Act One of The Face is Familiar, starring Jack Benny. Each week, our General Electric Progress Reporter tells us of some phase of General Electric's contributions to more comfortable living, industrial progress, and national defense. Here is Don Herbert now with another interesting report.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Do you hear that echo? Well, scientists have been studying echoes for quite some time. One of the things they've learned is how to use them to measure distances, especially underwater. Now, that's the idea behind sonar. Here's what happens. A very high-pitched sound wave is sent out in one direction at a time through the water. When it hits an object, it bounces back. The time it takes the echo to return indicates how far away the object is. Of course, sonar was originally intended for one purpose only, to find enemy submarines. During World War II, wolfpacks of enemy submarines left the coast of Europe to sink Allied shipping and to take over complete control of the oceans. But those enemy subs were in for a surprise, for our surface vessels had a weapon all their own. Under the keels of our ships, the sonar unit sent out waves of sound and listened to the returning echoes. As soon as an enemy submarine was detected, our destroyers went into action. Sonar was one of the big reasons why we and our allies were able to overcome the submarine menace of World War II. But sonar's service to mankind was just beginning. For instance, it makes possible better harbor and channel maintenance. It's used in dredging and salvage work. It helps warn ships of hidden rocks and sunken vessels or other obstacles. And sonar is even bringing more food to your table. Fishing trawlers are using a form of sonar to locate whole schools of fish. And new uses for sonar are turning up all the time. Now, two distinguished scientists contributed key discoveries that led to the sea tube of World War I, which was the forerunner of sonar as we know it today. They were Dr. Coolidge and Dr. Langmuir, both scientists working at the General Electric Research Laboratory. And right now, General Electric research, engineering, and production facilities are working to improve sonar to make it more efficient for future use, both as a defense weapon and as an aid to peacetime sailors. This work in sonar is another example of what we mean when we say, at General Electric, progress is our most important product.
And here is Act Two of The Face is Familiar, starring Jack Benny. Thanks to Jack Benny for another delightful performance. And thanks to you, ladies and gentlemen, for inviting us into your homes this evening. The people at General Electric hope you will continue to watch our famous stars in these wonderful plays. And I'm sure you'll want to see our next presentation. An unusual story, The Rider on the Pale Horse, with another cast of outstanding players from Hollywood. Until next week, then, good night for General Electric.
In the home, on the farm, in the factory, on land, on sea, in the air. At General Electric, progress is our most important product.